Hello and welcome to this reading. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you're all well and taking good care of yourselves. Before we get into the reading, I have my drum here, so I thought I would sit and drum us in just to settle into the space, and maybe you'll get some insights listening to the drum before we get started as well. That could be interesting for you. So let's just have a little minute or so of drumming, and then we'll start to pull some cards and look at the messages that are coming through. Beautiful. I do love my drum. Ellen, I think some of you have met her before. I've introduced her on Instagram a couple of times. So for this reading, there's kind of like a vision or an image that I'm picking up on of a mirror. And this mirror isn't a mirror that someone is facing. So perhaps you're at a point in your lives where there's something that you need to look at. Maybe there's a mirror in the shape or form of a person or an experience that's wanting to get your attention. That's what I'm picking up on. It's almost as though the mirror is here, and instead of facing the mirror, you're kind of facing, my wrist clicked, facing the other way. And in facing the other way and not facing this mirror, you're missing out on some kind of lesson. So what I felt then as I said that is that this mirror could be painful in some way to look at. Or it could be a mirror to look into, to see your own gifts and to see your own beauty and your own magic. And maybe there's some kind of resistance to seeing yourself as you truly are. Oftentimes in our lives we come across people who, everyone and everything is a mirror, but we'll come across a particular person or a particular experience that mirrors something back to us that makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable. And it's not always necessarily like a negative thing that makes us feel uncomfortable. It could be, as I said, our own gifts, our own magic that we're kind of, for some reason resistant to looking at. So we'll pull some cards and see what the cards have to say about it. But I am strongly feeling to share the message that it's time to turn and face the mirror. So you could visualize this in meditation. You could visualize this now, and perhaps this reading could help or serve as a mirror for you to see what you need to see at this time. And of course, only take what resonates. Maybe not all messages in these readings resonate, but you'll probably pick up some wisdom, hopefully, through them. Let's see what the cards have to say about this. Water Guardian. Connect with your emotions. Okay. So there is a lot of emotion around whatever this mirror reflects back to us, whatever this mirror represents to us, whatever it brings forwards, whatever it brings to the surface for us, could be, as I said, uncomfortable to look at, and it could be uncomfortable because of the emotion that it evokes. So sometimes it could be emotions like anger or sadness and grief coming up to the surface, frustration, longing, homesickness, or it could be something that we would deem to be positive, like happiness, joy, this sense of magic that I was talking about, homecoming, excitement, and yeah, like this fizzy energy I'm feeling now. So that could be an excited kind of energy. So either way, whether these are comfortable, or actually they could all be uncomfortable or comfortable. Some people aren't comfortable with excitement, for example, and push it down. This could be through past disappointments. Some people are uncomfortable with joy, with happiness, because when's the other shoe going to drop? When's the bad thing going to happen? I can't be happy or hopeful because it'll probably go wrong, and yada, 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 right? I'm sure you're familiar with some of these. I think most people are in some sense. So move through the emotions. When you turn to face the mirror, whatever comes up, it might feel overwhelming. Sit with it. Be with it. What I'm going to say is, like, it can't kill you is what's coming through. It's quite a strong message. But yes, it could be powerful. It could be potent. It could feel like it's a lot to hold, a lot to handle. But I believe that every single one of you watching my videos know how to move through these things, right? You know how to do that, or you wouldn't be here watching my videos. You're a part of a collective of souls, of beings who know how to do these things because you've had practice. You've had practice for quite some time, I would imagine. So I just heard Rise from the Ashes. I know I've mentioned that in the last video that I posted, which was about the longing. This could be another aspect of that. Perhaps this is the mirror, you know, mirroring that longing back to you, or mirroring something back to you that you are longing for. Yeah, sit with those emotions, be with them, be present. The water guardian here is making me think of like water nymphs, for example, elementals, fey spirits that can be with you, be around you while you process these emotions. They're very comfortable in water, and so you could call on them for support if that resonates. Okay, let's get one more from this deck. Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. So I'm feeling like this energy exchange between you and the mirror, whatever this mirror is, whether it's a place, a person, a situation. I'm feeling like this exchange of energy which is taking place, whether you're aware of it or not. It doesn't feel like negative energy to me. It doesn't feel harmful or anything like that. So there's no need to go into fear about energy being passed back and forth between you and whatever or whoever this mirror is. However, you may not necessarily need to interact. If this is a person, you may not need to interact with that person physically, verbally, and be in contact with them in order to exchange this information and this energy. It feels like something that just takes place anyway. And I just heard there's no need to chase. So that's interesting. I know, you know, there's the whole twin flame thing is kind of something that is difficult to talk about, I would say, because it gets taken too far, I think, by some people or some factions, let's say, online. But there is truth to the mirroring of twin souls. And I just heard, you know, you don't need to chase. This isn't about going after whoever or whatever this is. This is about going after or coming towards yourself, rather. You see this man, he's got his hand on his heart. This is about coming back to your heart. So it could be a connection with another person. I'm also hearing that when I was talking about processing the emotions, about feeling them, letting them be there, that there could be someone that you could share that with. So that could be a therapist, a healer. You could even have an energy exchange with someone that you know. So, for example, if you offer a healing modality and they're a reader, then you could swap. Or if you both do massage, or both do healing, or both do readings, or whatever, you could exchange energy. So that you could have a massage or a reading or some kind of energy work that helps you to feel and process those emotions. I just heard like this needs to be someone that you trust, so it's not just reaching out to whoever willy-nilly. I love that word, or that phrase, willy-nilly. So not just reaching out to just anybody. This is about trusted people. So I feel like there are many answers that can come forwards from this mirror, from you turning to face this mirror, whatever that may be. And I'm hearing like the answers are all waiting for you. You just need to ask the right questions and need to be facing in the right direction is what I'm hearing as well. So it's no use turning your back, like turning away from this thing and not looking at it, because it's still there. Just because if I went off camera now, if I went and stood over there, it doesn't mean that I don't exist. I'm still standing over there. You just can't see me, right? So it's almost like sometimes, you know, when children might close their eyes and think they're hiding because they can't see anything else, that people can't see them either. There's something about that. Even when you're hiding, like you're still being seen. And I don't mean that in a kind of scary, creepy way. You need to turn and face whatever this is, because actually it holds the key to your next steps. It holds the key to your happiness, your success, to be able to look at this aspect, to be able to look at this mirror image of yourself. It's the only way I feel that you're going to learn quite how beautiful and magical you are. Maybe you won't see it in yourself, but you'll see it in another person or another experience or a place. I'm just seeing now, like in my mind's eye, a sunset or a sunrise and how beautiful that is. And you know, sometimes we can be moved like almost to tears, if not fully to tears, when we see something beautiful in nature. And you know, it's just a reflection of you, really. It's a reflection of yourself, your soul, and how beautiful you are. So yeah, turn to face this beauty is what I'm hearing. Okay, so we've got the King of Wands. So I feel like you need to be quite assertive about this. That's the word that's coming through. Stand in your power to turn and face whatever this is, whatever this mirror is representing to you. Turn and face it in your strength, in your power. Remember that this is a positive experience, because that's how it feels as I'm reading the cards. It's a happy and joyous experience, and the interesting thing is it might bring up the opposite emotions to that. So you might have some, I'm hearing like surface emotions, or you know, like if you have surface water on top of a road, for example, something about clearing away that surface water to get to the bones of something, and the bones of it seem to be around beauty, magnificence, magic, your own incredibly magical essence underneath this surface emotional water of sadness. And it could be layers of regret that you've pushed this aspect of yourself down, or this truth of yourself down rather. There could be regret, there could be sadness, there could be some shame, there could be grief around feeling like you've had to mask whatever this is for a long time. Something about a mask. So we're definitely looking at uncovering the truth of self through this reading, by embracing the mirror. Yeah, I keep getting the answers are many. A lot of things that you've wanted answers to for a long time, you know, I think the answers, or I feel the answers, are actually in this mirror. So don't be afraid to turn around and look at that. Okay. The Sorcerer. Are you afraid of your own power? Is what I just picked up on. This feels like it could be connected to other lifetimes. Notice that I say other lifetimes quite often and not past lifetimes, because I do get the sense very often that all of these lifetimes are running parallel to us. This is not like linear time. It's more that these existences or lives are laid out next to each other. That's why when you can visualize that you can actually step into different lifetimes and be able to learn from those lifetimes just by hopping into that time. But I do feel there's something around regret of particular actions in other lifetimes. So there could be things that surface maybe when you look at this mirror, maybe when you see this mirror, it shows you the things that you have partaken in or that you've done in other lifetimes. It could also bring things to the surface that you've done in this lifetime that you don't feel particularly proud of. But it's okay. Like, everybody does things that they maybe come to regret, or that they feel in hindsight, they weren't really the right or best things to do. Don't know whether right's the right word there because of the lack of kind of right and wrong that comes through with energy, or good or bad. But you'll know what I mean. Things that you look back on and think, yeah, kind of, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I don't feel good about having done that. So this could be, like I said, other lifetimes. It could be this lifetime. Something around maybe abuse of power in some way. It doesn't have to be anything huge either. But I heard the word dominion, having power over people. I know people I've worked with and talked to, friends even, clients, about past lives. I said past, other lives. Have expressed that they've seen things that have happened in other lives that they feel remorse. Remorse is a good word. Remorse around or towards. I just heard very clearly, you're not going to do that again. You're not that person now. You're not that soul now. You've grown to an extent where you have learned from the things that you have done in previous lifetimes. And I said previous again. Whatever. In the other lifetimes, you've learned a lot, and a lot of that learning has come from this lifetime. And now there are more answers coming, and I feel like they're going to be really, really intrinsic, like really important, these answers, these clues, these messages, in terms of you moving forwards into your next phase. Exactly. The medicine wheel. I feel this is about turning to face a direction. So you've got the 4 directions on the wheel: north, east, south and west. And so you're turning to face a different direction. I'm hearing facing back. So this is looking back. It's not about getting stuck in the past. It's not about staying there. It's not getting lost in the sadness or the remorse or anything like that. But it is about acknowledging where you've been, who you are, who you have been, who you are yet to become, is what I'm hearing as well. The snake's really standing out to me in this card. The shedding of a skin. The shedding of regret, I just heard. And take it slowly. So a snake doesn't just like blitz its skin off. It doesn't just go and then its skin is off, right? It's a slow process. It becomes quite dull. Its eyes can sort of dull over, cloud over, and slows down, and then it gradually wriggles out of its skin. Sometimes it will use a rock to do that, to help pull the skin away, like slithering between rocks. So you might feel like, as you move through this process of coming to face yourself in this mirror, that you're slithering through a rock. It could be like a rock in a hard place maybe, shedding this idea of who you are. Because as I said, you're a very different person now, very different. So I'm noticing that this is 35, which adds up to 8. And then I just saw like the infinity symbol, and also like the snake eating its own tail. So something cyclical here as well. You've come around to a point where it's time to look in the mirror, glean the knowledge, gain the knowledge, and then move on into a new space, a new timeline. Just going to pull one more card. From which deck? Okay. Tarot of the Hidden Realm. See what the Fae have to say about this. Yeah. Okay. The Emperor. Again, I'm feeling this is what I was saying before about assertiveness. So you've got the King of Wands and you've got the Emperor. So these are two rulers. These are two people that sit on a throne and they know their own power and they are assertive. And I just heard rulers also have advisors. So when I was talking before about maybe speaking to a therapist or having a mentor of some kind, maybe this could be a person that you could talk to about what you witness in this mirror. And maybe they can help you to assimilate those answers that you receive, and maybe they can help you to see yourself as what you see in this mirror. You know, I was talking about beauty and power and poise and grace and magic and all of these things that you hold within you that this mirror is showing you. There could be someone who helps you to integrate that. You know, we've got Hugin and Munin, I believe they are here. This is very Odin-esque in this deck, the Emperor. And so there could be people that come to you that can help advise, and there could be people that can also listen. One of the birds, I can't remember which one of the ravens is to do with memory. So again, this could be related to the other lifetimes that you've experienced. So I just heard you're poised for success, really, but it all hinges on how clearly you can see yourself within this mirror that is calling for your attention at this time. So whether you've done that in this reading already, or whether you're going to do it in meditation, do turn to face the mirror. And yeah, the answers are many. That's what keeps coming through. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, and I hope it's been helpful to you all. It's been great to read your comments. I really enjoy connecting with you all. I hope you're all taking good care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye bye.